Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Serfozo versus Miller.
Thank you, Jerome.
You're welcome.
Good day, everyone. Ms. Serfozo, you call your daughter, Paternity, your miracle baby.
Yes, Your Honor.
And because you were told you'd never have kids. And when she was born, she had 3 possible fathers, including Mr. Miller.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Miller, you and your fiance, Ms. Dreyer, say Ms. Serfozo is lying about paternity, and you have physical proof.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Ms. Serfozo, I have to ask you this. How do you end up with 3 possible fathers for your miracle baby?
Ma'am, at that time, I do have a past just like everybody else at that time. It was party central for me. I was just partying all the time. When I found out I was pregnant, I was involved with somebody else.
Okay.
So.
You were dating one man.
Yes, ma'am.
And you assumed he was the father of your child.
Yes, ma'am.
But the truth is you were also intimate, obviously, if you believe there are 3 possible fathers, with 2 other men.
Yes, ma'am.
One of which was Mr. Miller.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how did you and Mr. Miller meet?
Through one of his family members.
So the relationship became a sexual relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
And you had sex without using protection.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Miller, you agree that happened?
No, ma'am, I have no.
You have not? So how do you remember this going?
I vaguely remember meeting her at my family member's house at a party. I was partying a lot, and they said I took her upstairs, and I don't remember.
They said?
Yeah.
Your Honor.
You really don't remember the sexual relationship?
No, I don't.
Wow,
Your
so
Honor.
that means you can't say for certain whether it was protected or not.
That is a blunt lie. We went and picked Mr. Miller up. I sat on his lap until we got to the family member's house. It was not a party. He came over casually. He actually asked me if he could come over. And that's
So you're
when-
saying you felt more like this particular encounter between you 2 was a date?
Not as a date, but as friends of benefits.
So was this a one-time benefit, or did they
No, ma'am, it happened
extend-
multiple times throughout months.
It did not happen throughout months.
Because surely you might have forgot or not be able to remember one time, but months?
Yeah, there's no possible way there was months.
Well, how long were you with her?
That night, if any.
So, wait.
Okay.
All right, so you're saying you were with her once, maybe, and she's saying you were together for months. Well, luckily for this courtroom, we only need the once, and since you can't remember, we'll just go with Ms. Serfozo's testimony right now, and the DNA evidence will be the jury. Moving on. So, there are other possible fathers as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please elaborate.
The reason we had broken off is because he went to my best friend. I caught his car at my best friend's house. And at that time, I found another.
Okay, so he started sleeping with your best friend, so you found somebody else.
Yes, Your Honor.
There was no us to begin with, so
But you do remember moving on and sleeping with her friend?
yeah.
That party remembers. So, Ms. Serfozo, you got pregnant, you gave birth. Who did you tell? Were any of these men, these 3 possible fathers, were they with you through your pregnancy? Did they go to doctor's appointments with you? Did they support you? Were they in the delivery room? Something?
One of them actually was throughout my whole pregnancy with me, cut her umbilical cord, and actually pursued on until he was excluded.
You've had a DNA test with that gentleman, and unfortunately, he's been excluded as a potential father.
Yes, Your Honor, that is why I'm here today.
There's another man,
Yes, Your Honor.
right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you contact him?
No, Your Honor, because I believe without a doubt in my mind that is Michael Miller's baby.
What makes you so convinced?
Because my daughter looks exactly like him and all his children.
Do you see a resemblance, Mr. Miller?
No.
Not at all? Mr. Miller, so how did you and your fiance find out about the child?
She told her through a text message. I never actually got a message that she was pregnant or that it might be my baby.
So you got a text message?
Through Facebook.
Now, Ms. Dreyer, what did you find out?
Okay, she never texted me or him or anybody to start with. In December of 2013, I was talking to my ex who had ended up with Mr. Serfozo, and he says, well, you know, I'm here with Michael's baby.
Your children's father is now with Mr. Serfozo.
He was with her for like 2 months.
Okay, so he was in a
So-
sexual relationship with her.
Yes.
Called you and said, I'm here with
Michael's baby.
Michael's baby.
And he said, did you know he's got a baby that's about 6 months old?
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
I was talking to my ex who had ended up with Mr. Serfozo, and he says, well, you know, I'm here with Michael's baby. And he says, did you know he's got a baby that's about 6 months old?
And what did you say?
I said, I didn't know that, but I'll ask him about it when I get home. He was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I've never even heard about this, you know? We looked up on Facebook. He says, I don't even remember meeting that girl. Who is this, you know?
That's pretty funny.
This fuzziness is questionable, Mr. Miller.
I said I vaguely remember meeting her at a party.
But you didn't tell your fiance you may or may not have slept with her.
No, because I was so tore up that night, I don't even remember. In August, when the time was supposed to happen, I was in South Carolina, and I have a ticket right here to prove that I got in August.
Jerome, hand me that evidence, please.
And he was also in August gone for a whole week where nobody could find him.
No, he wasn't.
No, I was not.
No, he was
Mr.
not.
Miller, your contention is you weren't even in town.
No, ma'am.
So how could it be you?
That's right.
So August, you gone.
I was gone from that place before August.
When was Sanity born?
June 14th, man.
February. Oh, I'm getting through the year. Hold on. So, you're claiming you were not around during the window of conception.
Yes, ma'am.
But if my math is right, sometime in September could have also been a window of conception for the baby.
I was not
All of her
there.
friends even say she sleeps with guy to guy to guy to guy. She jumps
She
from guy
don't
to
even know
guy.
my friends, Your Honor.
I know her friends
Yeah.
because they're his family.
That's
that she's trying to
okay,
butt
that's
into his
okay.
family.
Her friends are my
She's a
friends.
That's
delusional
okay.
tramp.
So hold on.
Okay, Shamu.
So your contention is there are no other possible fathers.
There is no other possible fathers, ma'am. She looks like him. His own mother says that she acts like him as a baby.
She comes up with all these stories. She's even told me stories about my own kids' father. In December, she was texting me, telling me that my kids should be told that their father is dead because he had a new life with her and her child, and
Ma'am,
then he was no longer going to be their baby.
That was never said.
And that is what she said to me.
That was never said.
Well, isn't this a mess?
He's known for since she was 5 months old that he was possibly the father. He could have went to welfare and said, I want to do the DNA on this child.
But you say this is your miracle baby.
This is my miracle baby, and I hate the situation I'm in. I hate to have to come up here. And I hate that I don't know who that is. And it kills me every day. I do apologize. I never thought I would be in this predicament, ma'am. That is my miracle baby, and every day I thank God for her. But I'm the one sitting here struggling to make sure she has diapers while he's sitting there refusing to tell child support where he is so he could do a DNA test, but y'all found him.
So ultimately, your position is I need to do this for my daughter.
Yes, ma'am. My
That
daughter
she
needs
deserves the
everything.
support, and he's supporting his other children and Ms. Dreyer's children, and you believe if your daughter is his daughter, he should be supporting her as well.
She deserves to know who her father is.
And she deserves to know who her father is. That is correct.
Yes, I had a party face. I'm not going to deny that, Judge. I'm not. I was 21 when I met Mr. Miller. I was having fun. I was kicking it. But why should my daughter pay the consequences for my mistakes?
She says that he wouldn't know where child support is. He has a child support case with his ex-wife. All right, he pays child support every single week. So how is that we're not telling child support where he is? Okay.
Child support does have his
We've
address,
called the
Your
child
Honor.
support in
And
Ohio,
they
and
said
they
it back.
said that they had never even heard from her.
So your
said it
contention
back.
is we're not trying to duck or dodge any
Yes,
No, ma'am, I'm not.
responsibility.
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am, I'm not.
We have
If I'm
7
the
kids
dad,
already.
I
We
will
don't-
step up to the plate.
What's one more? He takes care of my 4 plus his 3.
Yeah, I have
Does
3.
that sound like a deadbeat to
She
you?
has
Your
4.
Honor. And he takes care
I
of all
take
of
care of
them.
them.
Your
So how am
Honor.
I deadbeat? Like she claims I am.
I called child support and they said that the postal thing was sent back, that he doesn't live where I gave them the address to.
Then obviously you don't know where it is.
Well, obviously,
'Cause he's
you
on
don't
the
even
same
need
one
to be
for
in this because
2006.
this is your
You know
child.
what? You brought
Well, if you all
brought
would
me into
stop
this 'cause you were
arguing
the
long
one.
enough to exchange contact information,
Your Honor.
maybe Senate.
Your Honor, I have the same number I've had for 5 years, the same phone number.
So
if I was
why
that
has
in
this
contact
been
with
so
her,
hard?
I don't know. If I was that in contact with her,
Because I've been
why
in
can't she
denial.
dial the phone number I've
I
had
don't
for
have
5
your phone
years?
number anymore. I deleted
You've been
it.
in what?
I've been in denial. I do not want my Mr. Miller being my child's father because as in the past, he left me for my best friend.
There was no us to begin with, so how
Okay,
could I
whatever.
leave you?
Okay, but hold on. You made a point that I think is valid.
This is for my daughter, ma'am.
The
I'm
bottom
not going to
line
argue
is
with him.
you've had the idea that he could be her father.
Ma'am, his
But
own brother said that she looked just like
and
him.
you said a minute ago he's the only choice. But the truth is, you've been denying it. You wanted it to be somebody else's.
I don't want to have to put up with his fiance, ma'am.
But now when it's come
You're
down
one
to
who
the
keeps
come
texting me
down,
on Facebook and harassing me. You never even texted
say
him
he's
to
the
tell
only
him you
option.
might
Your
be
Honor,
dad.
I blocked her from Facebook because she was
Yeah.
calling me all sorts of names.
Yo,
and I
I
told
texted
her
her-
I've already took it to
Your
child
Honor.
support. He will be contacting
Your
within
Honor.
a week or two.
She causes so much
So,
drama in our
I
family
don't know
because
what
she
she
texts
said.
me and harasses me, trying to
Ma'am,
get us to split up. And like
Your
I've
Honor,
told
I will
her,
show you my phone.
And you know what? Her and my kids' father were together for 2 months.
4
She did
months.
not put it on Facebook. He was with you from December to January, and when he
November
moved back to
18th
South
until
Carolina,
he
he
moved.
moved in with another woman the next day.
Okay.
So he
What's
loved
the
you
difference
so
you want?
much. Why did he move in with another woman the
To
very
make
next
you
day?
mad because you had her ex-boyfriend living with you and Michael.
Oh well.
what? I don't need to know.
But Your Honor, I'm not here to argue with her.
even
I'm not here to
want
argue with
to
him.
know.
That is the reason
By his
I am
own
here.
admission?
That is the only reason I am here. It's 'cause
That's
he left
the
her because
only
she cheated on his
reason-
father. He
She
needs to
bounces
step
from
back.
guy to guy.
Excuse me, ladies. It never ceases to amaze me when I see two grown women arguing back and forth over a man that's standing in the middle with nothing to say.
Oh, I don't want him. She can have him. I don't want him. I never wanted him. He was
Nothing
just
to
something
say.
else.
I already said what I had to say. I said I would step up to the plate if the baby was mine.
And look, really, that's all
there
I
is.
need to hear you
That's
say.
all there
But
is.
it's still fascinating that these two women are going back and forth
Because
and
women
back
do
and
this.
forth.
Oh, women do that.
Arguing
You do it too.
this on Facebook, you told me this, you trying to do this, you trying to do that, when the focus should be, if you're this child's father, this beautiful child's father, where do we go from
I'll
here?
step up to the plate.
Jerome,
I'll do what I can.
in light of that, I think we're ready
We
for
did
the
say
results.
together when she was conceived.
There you go, Judge.
Just like he was up there the weekend before he crashed, right?
He was there March 7th.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he
Still going.
He had my kids that weekend.
was. Okay.
Delusional.
Okay.
Results or more
No, ma'am, I want to know the
riff-raff
results.
argument?
Yeah, I want to know that.
I
right
want to
there,
go
so-
to my child. I've been away from her too long.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Serfozo versus Miller, pertaining to 1-year-old Senate Plaza,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Miller. Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Serfozo versus Miller, pertaining to 1-year-old Senate Plaza,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Miller, you are not her father.
Told you.
Thank God. Thank God.
So now where's the other man?
I'm glad he's not. I'm glad, Willie, that he's not her father. I'm sorry that I had to put him through this. I just want to know who her father is.
I have to ask you, do you know who your child's father is?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
You know, I want people to come in this courtroom and I want them to lay it on the line for a child and I want them to tell the truth. And that was an ugly truth to tell.
Yes, it was.
But you told it and you were brave enough to say it. And this court is going to provide some resources to you because I cannot imagine not knowing who my child's father is. What that would mean for me, what that would mean more importantly for my child, and having to figure out how to work through that and make it right for them. And you've got that huge challenge on your hands and you got to be strong. You're one step closer. Now at least you know he is not. And now you can begin to figure out who is.
Yep.
Okay? Court is adjourned.
That's
It's just one step closer to finding out who my child's father is, and I'm happy about that. Like I said, I'm happy that he is not the father. I did not want to have to deal with him for the rest of my life.
when I heard the results, I knew they were going to come back not mine because I know for a fact I was not there.